So we are back, and what we're going to be doing here now is bringing back YouTube once every 2 weeks, so bringing out 2 YouTubes a month and really showing you guys what I get up to on a day-to-day basis, being an online coach living out here in Dubai, and just showing you guys a lot more of like how I manage my days, showing you more of Dubai, the gyms that Dubai has to offer, the lifestyle that Dubai has to offer, and really just taking you guys on the journey with me. So I've got the new DJI Osmo Pocket, whatever it's called. I'm not a content creator. I don't know how to use it. So bear with me. It is going to be the first few times I'm using this. So there's not going to be any fancy edits or fancy sounds because, to be honest with you, I don't have a clue how to. It's just going to be like raw, uncut versions of myself living my day-to-day life and showing you guys how I live my day-to-day life and bringing you guys on the journey with me. So it is currently Thursday morning. Gonna get into check-ins now. It is 7 o'clock, so I've got my first coffee of the day. Electrolytes are in. So fair few check-ins to get through today. I've got pull to train in a dungeon, cardio to do, and a few adjustments to plans, and a new starter to onboard from the call that I did have last night. So it's going to be a busy day, and I'll take you guys with me. Good morning, brother. How are we? Hope we're well. Thank you for your check-in, and thank you for the overview of week 3. So I hope you enjoyed your Halloween weekend, mate. I know we went out for a few drinks, which is obviously not a problem. It's just how we manage it, making sure that we don't fall into bad habits, okay? Big man, how are we? Hope you're well, brother. Thank you for your check-in, and thank you for the rundown this week, mate. Now, coming into this week, it has been an absolute stormer, mate. We are progressing with everything that we're doing now in terms of the physique, in terms of the training. And with that, mate, the visuals are really starting to take shape now, which is what we love to see, finishing this year, 2025, in the best shape possible, so we come into 2026 with a clear vision and direction of where we're taking the physique. So as I'm going through check-ins this morning now, I just thought I'd give you a quick update on Jamie. So Jamie and myself have been working with each other now for 11 weeks. When we started, it was just, let's do a fat loss phase. Let's get ourselves primed and ready for a growing phase, and let's get fat loss wrapped up this side of the year and before Christmas, so that we're not dieting over Christmas, because no one wants to diet down over Christmas. And in the time of us working with each other in just 11 weeks, we've managed to pull off an insane result. Now, Jamie does come from a bodybuilding background, but at the same time, he's a father, has a very busy lifestyle with his little one, with work and managing everything else that comes with being a father. And the result that we've managed to achieve so far is absolutely incredible. And just to let you know as well, he has only dropped 4 kilo. But in the 4 kilo that we have dropped, it's been a massive visual change. And also as well, just like a mindset shift that Jamie has had from when he started with me compared to where he is now. I'll put the result on the screen at the minute, like his before and where he is now, if I can fucking edit it in. But what me and Jamie spoke about 4 to 5 weeks ago is, look, let's do a photo shoot. Like, he's done his bodybuilding competitions. Let's do a photo shoot and go for the elite lifestyle look. Jamie, all for it. Got the competitiveness in him. So we are pushing now for a photo shoot, and we've currently got a photo shoot in 4 weeks and 4 days booked in the UK. I will be flying back to the UK on the 4th of December. I'll be in London for a few days. I'll be back on the 7th, which is the Sunday. We got the photo shoot booked in for the Tuesday. So I'll be peaking Jamie 3 to 5 days before the shoot, all depending on like how he's looking and where he's at that time. But then on the Tuesday, we've got the photo shoot. We're going to train afterwards. We'll grab some nice food in and talk about how we're going to manage the reverse phase over Christmas, the growing phase, and then the plans for 2026. And I think this is so important with every lad that I work with to really set the vision for them, like not just the fat loss phase, like where are you going to be in 6 months, 9 months, 12 months? What is your goal? What is your vision? Because once you complete a fat loss phase, that is when you got the perfect blank canvas to now grow and now to pack on as much muscle as we can whilst keeping body fat levels low. So I'm buzzing for this one, 4 weeks and 4 days. let's bring it. So what we'll do now is we'll go into meal one, which is going to be the same meal one I've had for, I'd say, about 5 years, which is the protein oats and berries. But what I'll do is I won't do this as like a full day of eating, because I can save that for another video and it'll just save time on this one. But I'll show you this meal because this meal is an absolute banger. 125 grams of oats, 30 grams of whey, 20 gram honey, 150 gram berries, and 20 grams of almond butter. So I'll make this meal now and I'll show you the finished product. And that is the finished product. We have protein oats with berries, honey, and almond butter. Now, I don't have a fucking clue what's going on with this. Like I said, I'm shit with these cameras. So yeah, you're gonna have to bear with me. But I'll put the macros on the screen if I can. Calories and macronutrient breakdown. But first block of check-ins are done into meal one, and then I'll go for a 10-minute walk to help aid in digestion and to also get some fresh air. Get out of the apartment because I live in the apartment. If I'm not in the apartment, I'm in the gym. So it's good to get out of the apartment, get some fresh air, and steps are king. But also, when it does come to steps, it's something I like to get boxed off the majority of my steps in the morning, because at the end of the day, it's an absolute ball ache when you've got like 3 or 4K steps to do, and it's like 8 PM at night. I've made that mistake a few times, and it's not ideal. So tuck into meal one, walk, come back for phase 2 check-ins, and then we'll hit the gym. We'll take you to the dungeon. Right then, so we are on our first morning walk. At the minute, I'm currently living in Creek Harbour as well in Dubai. I was living in Business Bay, and it was just busy as anything. Like, honestly, lived there for 11, 12 months. I think I went on about 4 walks because you're just on like a main road and it was carnage. Whereas over here, it's just so peaceful, so quiet, like lovely places to just go for a nice little walk. So I'll show you. So this is just where I'll have my walk this morning now. What I tend to do is walk around this like big grass patch, and then head back. Literally just a 10-minute walk, like nothing too crazy. Just to help with the digestion of that big bowl of oats. But in the nighttime, it's so good down here. It's almost as if it's better, in my opinion, in the night, because everything's all lit up, and it's busier in the nighttime as well because you've got all like the kids out here playing football on the grass. And it just reminds me of like when I was younger, you just go down the park, kick a ball around. Yeah, crazy. So have a little walk around here, go back, probably sink another coffee, and then back into work. That is a big bulk of the workload done this morning, and now we're going to head off to the gym. We've got pull today at the dungeon, which has some great pieces of kit there, to be fair. But I just want to show you the parking lot. Very humbling. I'll show you some of the cars that they've got lined up here. So we've got G-Wagon, we've got Rolls-Royce Cully, which is fucking sick. Size on it. We got my car, the Lambo Mansour Urus. No, I'm joking. Is it fuck? I think they're about 400k. Absolutely crazy. And then you've got a Maybach E63 over there. Another G-Wagon. The lineup is fucking ridiculous. And then we've got my bad boy, the MG5 shitbox. But in all fairness, I still need to buy a car. I'm going to be buying a car next year, I think. So for now, why this oak? Hold on, there we are. So for now, we've got the MG, which is still, it's okay. It gets me from A to B. But next year we'll get a car, I think, so I don't have to pay to fucking rent this thing. So, right, we're away to go. And if any of you live in Dubai or have been to Dubai and driven in Dubai, you'll know what the roads are like. They are an absolute fucking nightmare. People drive crazy out here. So what I'll do, I'll put the camera down and then I'll pick you back up when we're at the dungeon. It only takes me like 5-10 minutes to get there anyway, so I'll pick you back up when we're at the dungeon. In for pull, let's go. Right, so that's me just pulled up at the dungeon gym now, and how I think I'll lay out this video is I'll record my training clips on my phone, and then when I get back to the apartment later on tonight, what I'll do is like I'll sit down, I'll bring up the videos of me training, and I'll talk you through my training. I think if I was to just record in here, it'd probably be a bit boring, to be honest with you. And I seen Mark's YouTube and he does it like this, and in all fairness, in my opinion, it looks far more engaging, because instead of just watching me training, you can hear me talk about like my thought process going into the set, how I'm performing the set, and like the cues that I give myself as well. But this is the dungeon, so we got the dungeon power building gym. I'll just show you the inside downstairs quickly. So what we're going to start off with here is the close grip lat pull down. Now, I love this exercise and this piece of kit, especially to use start when the lats are fresh. But as you can see, fully lengthening at the top, keeping the elbows nice and tight, and then driving my elbows into my pockets. That's the cue that I'm giving myself here, is elbows down into pockets, full stretch at the top, and then hard contraction on the way back down. So that is the first exercise. Then we move on to the Cybex row. Now, this, in my opinion, is a great piece of kit. Very, very heavy. And mainly, like, my thought process here is just, like, row as heavy as I can. You know, not so much, like, yeah, there's thought process behind it, of course. But it's fixed plane of motion. So drag the elbows down and in. Fully protract to the top. And then drag it back in. That is the sort of thought process behind that. It's just grip and rip. Drive it all the way in, slow eccentric, and then finish it off. After this is where we move on to the other rows. There's 3 row variations in this pull day. And the next one is going to be the prime extreme row. Now, how I've loaded this is 60 top peg, 30 mid peg. And it was heavy. Very, very heavy. As you can see towards the end of the set. I'm just so fucked. Absolutely buried. Because it's very heavy at the lengthen as well, by loading it mainly at the top, it's very heavy at the lengthen. As I start to come down, it's a nightmare when it comes to actually breathing and bracing. But I increased this week, so I managed to take the progressions at the lower end of the rep range target, but I'll look to drive this up over the next couple of weeks. Next up, we have the prime chest supported row. And once again here, I've loaded mainly top peg, just because my back is completely fried. By mainly loading the top peg, it's going to drop off in the shortened range, which is essentially where we want it to drop off so we can complete the full rep. And I actually managed to progress on this one by I think it was like 1 or 2 reps. But I took the progression here, felt really good. 3 sets, three sets in between the 10 and 15 range, and I was very happy with this one. Progressed this one, progressed the back off, and then maintained the 3rd set then. So yeah, really happy with this row, and this is the last back exercise of the day. So the back work is done, and now we move on to the rear delts. Now, when it comes to performing rear delts, what you want to think about here is think about pushing your arms forward and then actually dragging your arms back. Because where a lot of people go wrong here is they just shift too much weight and it just goes onto the upper back fibers. We want this to be burning our rear delt, and your rear delt is such a small muscle group. So we really need to isolate it as much as we can. And how I like to do it in the teaching cue that I give to myself and the lads that work with me is think about pushing forward and then to the walls, essentially, and having a good squeeze at the top, pausing at the stretch, and then back in. That is how I would perform the rear delt fly, just so it is on the rear delt and not on the upper back. And to finish off, we go on to the biceps. Now, I did do 2 exercises. I done the preacher curl, and I also done the bilateral low cable curl, but I did only record the preacher curl. But coming into this exercise, what I'm thinking about doing here, right, is driving my elbow into the pad as much as possible, slow eccentric, pause at the lengthened, and drag back up and pause at the contraction as well. But if any of you have used this preacher curl machine, you will realize how bloody heavy it is. Like I think I done 15 kilo on top set, 10 kilo on the back off. But it's super heavy. Drops off in the short, but when you come here to the lengthened, it is absolutely brutal. So finished off on biceps, and then we headed off. So that is a wrap on the pull day today. What I have noticed is I need a fucking trim, and my face has gone massive. Put on about 15.8 kilo up since the photo shoot in June. But training's going really well. Feeling strong, feeling powerful. Probably I would say at like peak strength at the minute. So yeah, doing the work that needs to be done. We'll probably push up to, I would have thought, 100 kilo by mid-Jan I reckon. So anyway, good session wrapped up. Time to go back, have the post-workout meal and have a shower, because I am fucking sweating my bin off. We're back at the apartment. I've showered, I've had my post-workout meal, I've replied to clients from when I was in the gym, and obviously not on my phone. So now it is a case of just getting behind the laptop for the rest of the afternoon and evening. I've had a call being booked in for tonight. So I'm going to do the new starter setup, onboard him, and then plan content, get the week planned out, and then yeah, take you guys on my evening walk, which is the same place as where I walked earlier, but I'll take you down the front. Even though it's very like misty and overcast today, I'll still take you down there with me. I would record me just working, but it'll just be boring. I'll just be behind the laptop on Loom videos all afternoon. So I'll get stuck into work and I'll see you guys tonight. So that's me out to get the final steps of the day done. I'm currently sitting at 8,000 steps, so I've still got another 2,000 to do. But the way that I break steps down, right, is I just don't overcomplicate it. Steps are the easiest thing in the world to get. You simply just go outside and you go for a walk, you know. But also the way that I work it out is a 10-minute walk is about 1,000 steps. So I've got 2,000 steps to do, so I just know that it's a 20-minute walk. So I come around here. This route that I normally do is usually around 20 minutes, and then I'll go back. I've still got my cardio to do. I've left it last minute, which is a nightmare. Usually I do it first thing in the morning, but I thought I'd just get straight into work. But I always regret it at the end of the day, knowing that I've got 20 minutes of cardio to do. But I'm pretty disappointed, because usually the skyline around there, it looks amazing, but like I said, it's so cloudy here today that the skyline doesn't look that good, to be fair. So I'll have to bring you down tomorrow. Some party thing going on in here on a boat, but that's the thing with Dubai. There's something going on every day of the week. It is a Thursday, and there's people partying on a boat somewhere. So that's all my steps wrapped up now, so just heading back to the apartment. And the good thing is about living in an apartment block is I have no excuse not to get my cardio done, because there's a gym in the apartment complex. The gym's shit, don't get me wrong, but it has a treadmill so I can get my steps in if it's cooking outside and just too warm to go for a walk, which I basically lived on the treadmill in the summer when I was here. and it has a cross trainer. So I just do all my cardio on the cross trainer in the apartment gym. So get back, get that done, upstairs, shower, have my last meal, last bit of work, and then switch off for an hour before bed. So let's get it boxed off. Cardio all completed, and that is everything done for the day. Few little bits of work to get on with now, but I'm going to jump in the shower, have my final meal, finish off some work, and then chill out for half hour to an hour before going to bed. So thank you for watching. There'll be more of these coming, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.